In this video, I will answer the question, how do I talk to an executive recruiter to land a senior leadership role? Stay till the end of the video because I will share one tip that will set you apart from the majority of the 99.9% of candidates. One of my clients used this strategy to turn a LinkedIn outreach message when there was no immediate job opening into 2 formal job interviews. Before you prepare anything from your LinkedIn profile, your resume, and what you need to say, what you need to send to them, you have to understand one thing. That is how executive recruiters operate. Most of their time is spent on helping their clients, executing clients' project. So when your profile and their client demand align, they want to talk with you immediately. If not, your profile will be together with hundreds of the other profiles or email outreach. It's actually mathematically and logically impossible for anyone to keep up, let alone reply to every single one of you, because their main priority is their clients. When you plan to reach out to an executive recruiter, you want to be sure that you are clear with your goal and you can articulate it well. If you reach out without clear job opening in mind, the desired outcome in your head should be to establish a strong connection or best position yourself for consideration for current or future job openings and projects. Then after the first interaction, stay on top of their mind. Here are the 3 steps you should take when reach out to an executive recruiter. Step number 1 is to prepare before you reach out. Get clear on your current situation. Now here are the set of questions you need to be ready to articulate your answers in under 30 seconds for each question. Question number 1, why are you open to a new role? What type of organization and position are you interested in? What locations are you open to? Are you willing to relocate? If so, where? Who could provide a positive reference for you and have the credibility to do so? What are your compensation expectations? What are your current employment status? What research and networking have you done so far to identify recruiters in your field? Don't forget to polish your online presence. Just as you research job openings and recruiters or hiring managers, recruiters are researching candidates as well. In this day and age, having a polished online presence is just a must. So what does that mean? That includes a professional profile on your LinkedIn, your job history, your track records, signature achievements, and you want to make sure every single one of them that I just mentioned are search engine optimized. And remember, you want to brand yourself for the next position. So if you currently are finance director and you would like to be a vice president or CFO, you do not want to brand yourself on what you have done, what you achieved so far as a director, because you're going to just get more director positions. Rather, you need to position yourself for future position that you want to have. I have explained the steps in details in this video. You want to have a look. Start to be active on LinkedIn, especially if you're in a job search phase. For example, you can comment on the post, like some of the posts, show your thought leadership, and discuss what's happening in the industry. And when you really comment or you want to say something or state something or share an article, make it count. Don't just share something and then add a comment like insightful article or very inspiring meeting. This is not going to help. This is not establishing you in any thought leadership or any leadership. So what happens if you are not active on LinkedIn, meaning that you have no activities on LinkedIn for more than 30 days? Recruiters are less likely to contact you because when they use LinkedIn Premium to search for candidates, they can filter all the profiles who hasn't been active on LinkedIn for 30 days because your profile tells them that probably you haven't logged in for a while and you may not even see their message if they contact you and they don't want to waste their time. Step 2 is to outreach. Now, the bad news is the typical time you have to make a great impression in your outreach message is just less than 3 seconds. And the good news is it's actually surprisingly easy to differentiate yourself positively and stand out. When I was recruiting, we often receive about 200 to 300 applicants for each position. However, very few did what I'm about to share with you here. Now, let's start with the level 3 candidates. If you do any of these followings, your outreach message will be deleted and your LinkedIn invitation won't be even accepted by myself. Number 1 is generic salutation, like sir or to whom it may concern. You want to address the recruiters correctly and spell their names right. If you connect with them on LinkedIn, make sure to include a personalized message rather than just sending a generic invitation. Number 2 is short and generic sentences like, do you have a vice president of operation position? I'm open to new opportunities now. Even if it's very well written, make sure that it's not generic and the message is personalized to the recruiter. So what do I mean? If they specialize in pharmaceutical supply chain roles and you want a vice president of marketing position in automotive industry, then you are being totally irrelevant. You want to tailor your message to the recruiter's expertise and explain why you are interested in the field and how your skills are relevant. The next mistake is there's no resume attached. You want to always attach a well-written resume and send it in PDF because this is the best format to make sure there's consistency across different devices, no matter they open it with Windows or they open it with Mac. The next mistake, I don't think I need to say it here, but I still see it happening all the time on executive resumes, is typo and clear cut and paste errors. You want to make sure your email is error-free and you have a correct grammar and formatting. Now let's move to level 2 candidates. If you do this, your outreach emails and your profile will be saved and your connection request will be accepted. Begin by addressing the person you contact by their name. Show that you have done your homework. Your writing is personalized, it's professional, it's concise, and you do not copy and paste. It's not generic. That means that you have done a thorough research and you know that what you're offering aligns with the recruiter's expertise. And you attach your resume, your bio, your LinkedIn profile is polished, and you have a clear call to action. Next is the level 1 outreach messages that really stand out, and I would reply to them even if I do not have any immediate opening. Sometimes I do even have an introductory call with this candidate so that I can have them in my list of high potential candidates. When I do have an opening that matches their profile, I would contact them first. This type of email outreach has everything we talked about in level 2, plus adding a personal touch. What does that mean? For example, you could mention a mutual connection or comment on an article they published, or recently if they are on any of the media, they have any public presence, then talk about it, refer to it. Add a brief description of your leadership brand and your background that is relevant to the recruiter's expertise. Step 3 is to stay on top of mind because most of the time there's no immediate match between your profile and available positions anyways. But seasoned recruiters, they play a long game and so should you. So how do you stay in touch and stay top on their mind? Do not send emails every 2 weeks and asking for job openings. Instead, be thoughtful and be professional. When it's really time to check in, do not assume that they remember who you are as they meet candidates all day and all week. You want to refer back to a past conversation and remind them your last interaction and probably also remind them who you are. You want to make it easy for them. Maybe at this point you are saying, well, whatever you shared, I already know, it's not new to me. You might already know it. Knowing is different from doing. Knowledge is not a power. Having knowledge without taking any action is powerless. Everything I've shared in this video takes time and effort to prepare, to research, to personalize, right? Some recruiters mention that less than 5% of these outreach they received have any of the elements that I've mentioned above. If you really want to differentiate yourself, start by doing all the things that the other 95% are not willing to do not want to invest effort in. Here's one thing you really could do to set yourself apart from the other 99.9%. Give before you take. Solve a problem for them. For example, during your conversation with them, do not just focusing on yourself, position yourself, talk about your profile, your leadership, your resume. Focus on them as well. Be interested in them. Find a pain, find a challenge that they are facing right now. So if, for example, they mention to you there are certain profiles really difficult for them to search, introduce them to someone in your network whose profile aligns closely with the type of candidates they find challenging to find. If they're active in thought leadership, send your reflections on their recent publication. Leave a genuine comment if it's on social media. If you are in their neighborhood or you're planning to visit their city, send a note to offer to buy them a lunch or buy them a coffee. If you want to learn the full system of how I got 2 vice president positions at 2 Sweden's largest companies by market cap, watch this 1-hour free training. It's much more in-depth than what I share here in these short videos. You can sign up from the link in the description below and it's free. Now, these messages and steps I share here will not work unless you have the right mindset. Now, I would like you to watch this video and learn how to have abundance mindset. Even if right now you're feeling desperate, you're feeling resentful, maybe towards your current manager or your past employer. I'll see you in the next video.